Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, it's evening. It's Sunday, the 3rd of April. I didn't manage to film this morning because I was doing some exercise with my friend Paula and Sabitha, so I didn't manage to film our workout session, but maybe I'll try next time. I don't have enough space to film and I was exhausted, so yes. But today I wanted to show you, I guess, a little bit of my Sunday routine, which I kind of highlighted on my first quarantine video. Sunday is usually the time where I will look after my plants and herbs, and yeah, I will just show you how I normally take care of them. You guys asking me how I water my orchids and bonsai tree and the herbs, so I'm just going to go through with you how I do it, and then yeah, we will just go through what will happen throughout the day. It is late in the evening already. I will see, maybe I'll continue with the filming tomorrow, and I'm trying to create face mask by myself. I think I will try to produce two. One is sewing, one without sewing, so let's see. If I don't manage to post it by tomorrow, the face mask, I will post it for the Thursday video. Without further ado, I will show you today's content for you. It is about 7:30 and here in the UK time, and as you can see, my orchids are doing quite okay. The leaves is a bit tired. Some of the flowers have dried out. Let me see if I can try to, yeah, this one is already dry, and this one you can see that there is new buds coming off, which is always good, and few of the leaves fallen here, which I can see that the bark, they are dry. You will know when your orchid is dry is one, when you touch this, there is no moist, and you can see from the outside of the root is gray. That means that there is no water, they're thirsty. Yeah, so you can see that they basically look pretty dry here. Basically, when there's a sign of it is a sign like this, that means that they need more water to them. So yeah, I'm going to show you how I water these orchids. I'm in my bathroom. Like I said, it's 7:30 in the evening, so it's a little bit dark outside. I usually water my orchids during this time is because I don't like to water them during the day. After, when you water, it's not really good to put the orchid right directly on the sunlight, and also they like moist. So my husband has already taken a really nice hot bath, so the room is nice and steamy. So I use this time as an opportunity to give that moist for the orchids after when he had the bath. How I do it, I grab all of the orchids to the bathroom, put it in the bathtub, and then I will run the water. I usually do them room temperature, not too cold either, so a nice room temperature water, and just rinse through them. You would want to remove it from the vase base, I don't know how you say it in English, from the pot. And then your orchid should be in this container. What you would want to do is for the water to run through only in your barks, and I don't put the water on the leaves. If the leaf is dirty, what I will use is some tissue, dump the tissue, and literally brush the leaves. So yeah, that's how I normally do it. I'm a bit breathless is because the room is a bit steamy. So yeah, without further ado, I will show you how I water the orchids. Here they are. And basically you want to look for a nice wet pot of barks just like this. And don't worry about if like some water touch the leaf or the petals, but as long as you're shaking them, like make sure to tap it all of the water out, that should be fine. And the leaves also is the same. What I will do is I will leave them in here in this condition, no more water. I mean, you can run the water for a good 5 minutes, but you'll be your own judge to see if the bark is not absorb enough water. You can do it longer, but if they have absorbed it really well, leave it as it is. Since I watered mine probably 2 weeks ago, so they don't need that much of water. They just need a bit of water with a good humidity to it. So what I will do is I will just leave them here overnight, and I will remove them in the morning. Then they will be in this kind of same temperature and nice and warm, and from the moist of steam, this will help the orchids very well. So that is how I water my orchids. I have some spring onions. Usually when you buy spring onions that still have the roots, what I have done is you can grow your own, and basically you just need a cup, a glass, and then just put the end of the spring onions into the water just like this, and it will grow. This we bought it yesterday, and we cut the spring onion yesterday up to here, and you can see already within a day it has grew like this much. It takes about a week to 2 weeks, and you can cut it again and you have another spring onion. But I recently tested to put it, I don't know how you call them, I think it's like those bubbles that hold water. So I put them in here. I'm sure if you can see some of the bubbles there. Unfortunately, it doesn't grow as fast. I think it's because the bubbles retain a lot of the water. Spring onions doesn't have enough water requires for the root, therefore it's not growing. Hence why, when I can see from here, there are a lot of roots growing longer rather than the actual onion itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this water, remove the bubble, and put in a bigger glass like this. Clean the dead ones, and they will grow back fresh from tomorrow onward. So remove spring onions from the glass, and since I have the bubbles, I have to make sure that these are removed properly from the roots. You can see here they're tangled to the roots, so I have to remove them. And please, if you have used these bubbles, do not let them go through the drainage. It will block your drainage, so always leave them for a few days outside until they go back to normal shape, and then bin them. So what you do, if you see any of the dry ones like this, what you can do is peel them gently. You don't want to damage the root. And when you have something like this, that's fine. You can wash the roots and then put them in a clean glass of water. And so I have another fresh cup of water here, and I just put them back just like that. Just repeat the process for all of the spring onions if you have dry stems. So I have washed all of them, and what you will end up is something like this. As you can see, the water is very clean, the roots are clean. Usually within 2 to 3 days the water will be change a bit of a color. So what you want to do is take the whole thing out again, rinse it through clean water, and replenish with another clean water to the glass. And if you notice that from the top is dry out, sometimes it could be from when you cut the spring onions for the first time, or then what you'll do is just a pair of scissors, just trim that part, so then it doesn't waste a lot of energy to replenish that top, because it's not going to replenish, it's dry. And yeah, I leave them by the window, direct sunlight, absolutely fine. This is a method how I grew my own spring onions, and you don't have to go and constantly buy them again because you have them in your house. You grow them, maintain them. Yeah. So I thought I tried it. I never done it before. I was just like, let me try put it in the water, and yeah, it all of a sudden it continued growing, and I have harvested 3 or 4 times already since I've came across this hack. So yeah, I hope you will try yourself and buy spring onions, so then you save a couple of pounds. Usually spring onions can be from 50p to £1 50, depends where you're buying them from and if they're out of season or in the season. So yeah, do this as a way of to save a bit of pocket money for yourself. Now moving to my herbs, it's spring towards summer. I noticed that when I put the plants by the windshield, it attracts whiteflies. What I will do is I came across that using hydrogen peroxide actually works. What I have done is in here I have put, this is a solution of hydrogen peroxide 3%. I have put a 1 tablespoon and fill this with 800 ml of water, 1 tablespoon of the hydrogen peroxide with couple of drops of washing up liquid. Probably you can see here like just couple of marks from where the white, and you can see also probably under here. So what I will do is spray the hydrogen peroxide not just on the top but also behind the leaf, because that's where they're sitting. And I also found out that to prevent the whitefly during the summertime is instead of water the plants from the top, you water it from the bottom. So what I normally do is I have like this container and I will put water underneath and then just leave it for a few minutes and then empty that water out. What you don't want to create is a pool for them to grow because they like damp. And yeah, I will just going to show you how to do that. Okay, some water here. I will just leave this plant inside, and same with this coriander, but let's do one at a time. Just spray the hydrogen peroxide water solution top and in the back. I will recommend to do it in your sink so it doesn't go anywhere else. And I would repeat the same process for other herbs as well, even they don't have it, just to prevent it. I feel that with mint, usually the whiteflies they like more, so I will try to revive this one. As you can see, it's like almost dead, but they were growing back, so I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to try to revive this if possible. Okay, so once you've done that and you've watered the plants, just put them back where they belong. Just notice for within 4 to 5 days, I would say, or even you can tell when there's a white flies around your herbs because they usually like sitting behind the leaves. And you can also see when your leaves are being eaten but you can't really see any other pests or anything around. So yeah, try to do this as much as you can, and even if there is no whitefly, there is no harm to use the hydrogen peroxide on the leaves. It's to prevent for the future for them to return. And I noticed that in the winter is not as much or it's not as visible, but in the summer definitely they do come around often. And yeah, so that is the trick how I keep the herbs alive, I suppose. So I'm trying to make some face mask, and I will do two versions of the mask. One is with sewing required, the other one doesn't have a sewing machine or even hand sewing. And so to do that, the first one, you would want to use something that has a stretch. So I'm using this dress of mine that I don't use it anymore. The dimension I will leave it on the description box below, but I'm going to make for an adult one, so that will be 30 by 15 centimeters. I will cut them. You would want to cut them in fold. What I mean by that is basically the fabric has to be big enough. You have to fold them, and you trim it without any space. So I will demonstrate all this. I'm trying to make two in one go, but we will see. So I will fold them just like that. You can do one at a time. I just thought that I will do it two to use both of the materials. Okay, make sure that they're flat, and with your and you want to cut around these ones, not on the fold, not on. You can remove all of the pins. I'm just going to work on the first. This is what you should have. Now you want to fold it outward like that. This is where the opening folding is here. You want to fold it again one more time. This and another one in a half. So you don't cut where the folding crease is, you're going to cut where some of the openings here. And what you want to do is you want to create a nice curve. About okay, so you have cut the edges to have nice round shape, like how it was when you were cutting the work in fold like this. Leave it as it is. You want to have a measurement about the width of your thumb in, and for the depth, so for the depth is about, so measure thumb in and about 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters. And cut up to this line. Your mask will already be in fold. Okay, I need to just cut a little bit more because I don't think I cut exactly 3 centimeters in, but just give a little bit. Okay, so what I have done is you want to have the fold part top of your new nose bridge, and inside I have put, I have put a tissue to cover the length. So kitchen roll, you want to stretch it out like the earpiece. How you will do it is you can put it just right here like this. There you go. And you have your mask on. You can tuck it in if you want. Or for even better secure, you can twist it and put it to your ear, one on the other. There you go. And that's how you make a mask without sewing. Well, now I've inserted the tissue is so then when you go out, after when you come back, you can always change it with the tissue again, because I think it's secure. I think it's secure to breathe. Yes, you have fabric in front of you, but just have that extra layer will be useful for your safety. Now the fabric is it's not too thick. It is breathable with the tissue or without the tissue. Yeah, so practice first when you do it to see. Don't use too thick of a material, because then you might have trouble breathing. Yeah, let me know if you have a go on this mask. Comment down below, let me know how it goes. I think as I'm running out of time, I will try to do the other mask for the following video, the sewing one. Yeah, I hope you all enjoy this content for today, and let me know your thoughts. If you, like I said, if you try doing the mask, comment, sharing, and sharing on Instagram or on my YouTube channel. I would love to see how you getting on with them. They're fairly easy. I will leave the description down of the dimension on the description down below, and if you have any questions, let me know. If there is any other videos that you would like me to cover, I'm happy to do so.